Hello, my name's Loretta, and I'm 77 years old. That's right, 77, and I'm a fan of the booth. Sinister One, Keith Hayes. That's right, my favorite. He's like a adorable Sammy Davis Jr., but for the new age kids. And everybody that loves sports, because I love all that New England sports. The Boston Celtics, the New England Patriots. I don't even give a damn about the Jets or the Giants.
Actually enjoy treating your customers like a piece of shit, because that's how I felt when I went to the Alamo Draft House. Okay? You know what? I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to text in your little crappy-ass theater. It was too f***ing dark in that place for me to find my seat, alright? I was using my phone as a flashlight to get to my f***ing seat. So excuse me for using my phone in USA, United States of America, where you are free to text in a theater. I was not aware that I couldn't text in your theater, all right? I've texted in all the other theaters in Austin, and no one ever gave a fuck about what I was doing with my fucking phone, all right? And it was on silent. It wasn't on loud. It wasn't bothering anybody. You guys obviously were being assholes to me. And I'm sure that's what you do, you know, to rip people off. You take my money, and then you throw me out. You know, I will never be coming back to your Alamo Draft House or whatever. I'd rather go to a regular theater where people are actually polite. And, you know, I'm going to tell everyone about how you are. And I'm pretty sure you guys are being on purpose. So thanks for making me feel like a customer. Thanks for taking my money.
Dead ass. Serious. I would hate me too. Look at me. Think he the shit. This nigga don't even crease his Air Forces. What the f***? Shut the fuck up. You lying.
Metamorphosis, self-reflection in the great beyond. Darkness, death, love, imprint on earth and the remains you leave behind.
¡Conmigo! that cop out? You see that cop out? Then being reckless.
Van Buren's a brotherhood. Started in high school and grew up to be something special. Not too many's gotten this type of opportunity. Haiti's where we're from. Geno's is where we come together. Where we break bread. Van Buren's here to change a lot of the narrative. We're trying to change the culture. Show the world what Brockton's really made of.
Probably be doing too much, yeah. Probably be doing too much, Probably be doing too much, yeah. Probably be doing too much, Probably be doing too much, yeah. Probably be doing too much, Probably be doing too much, yeah.
Brockton, New Balance.
deputy. Oh no, oh. I shot the sheriff, but I didn't shoot the deputy. Ooh, 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 yeah.
Oscar Mike Radio is a proud podcast partner of Reach Across America Radio, heard every Thursday at 11 a.m. and Sunday at 8 a.m. Eastern. They're also big supporters of the nonprofit I Got Your Six, 2 Lives at Once. And with every wreath you sponsor through Oscar Mike Radio, $5 goes back to this great organization dedicated to making a difference in the lives of veterans, law enforcement, firefighters, and first responders battling PTSD. 2 Lives at Once pairs these brave men and women together with dogs rescued from kill shelters. In this way, 2 lives are saved at the same time by saving each other. Donate now. Go to reachacrossamerica.org/Oscar Mike Radio to help. That's reachacrossamerica.org/Oscar Mike Radio.
Hi, my name is Jennifer. I'm your neighbor from just down the street. I also ride a motorcycle, so please check twice. Save a life. Motorcycles are everywhere.
For more information on sharing the road, visit mass.gov/RMV.
This is Deanna Marie, and you're watching The Booth, a Sinister One production on Hoobazoo.com.
Looking down 20, 5:03 to go. Someone has run on the field. Some guy with a bra. And now he's not being chased. He's running down the middle of the 40. Arms in the air in a victory salute. He's pulling down his pants. Put up your pants, my man. Pull up those pants. He's being chased to the 30. He breaks a tackle from a security guard. The 20, down the middle, the 10, the 5. He slides at the 1, and they converge on him at the goal line. Pull up your pants. Take off the bra and be a man. And the players with hands on hips at the other end of the field are looking at him and shaking their head and saying, why, oh why, is this taking place in a Super Bowl?
Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Yeah.
Can you dig it?
You like some motherfucking action heroes in it. Yeah.
This is blasphemy. This is madness. This is the Booth.
Into the twisted mind of my literature, designed to get into the depths of your mind, administer sickness around to mimic the likes of snuff cinema. What you must get into, you're nothing but pups. Remember you Homer and Happy Simpson, son. Nothing Ithaca. Talkers like the northern half of Korea's peninsula. ESP your island like the Booth, something sinister. ESP your island like the Booth, something sinister. ESP your island like the Booth, something sinister.
All right, it's your boy Sinister One broadcasting live from the City of Champions. You are watching The Booth. It is April 30th, 2024. I got to thank everybody who tuned in, supported the show last week. We got a lot of topics to talk about, so I got to get right into the show tonight because my first guest is on in the upper left-hand corner. Oh my God, I can never be a meteorologist. Left-hand corner. I got to get this right. I got to know it's the opposite way when I'm doing this. Michael Douglas Barretto, MDB Electronics. If you need your controller fixed, send it out to him. 24, 48 hours. You're back to gaming. Also, Vianna Marie Music, streaming everywhere. 494,000 streams. Let's get those streams up to 500,000. Tactical Target Systems. Those zombie targets that you see me at the range with, those are the ones. Tactical Target Systems. Reach out, order those. Get them now. Also, I Love Boston Sports. I Love Boston Sports. You'll see their new Drake May shirt that they already have out at the store in the upcoming Sports Booth segment. Kimberly Ann Empowerment Photography. Ladies, if you ever wanted to take some pictures for a special loved one or someone special, Kimberly Ann will let you come to her place, make you feel super, super, super comfortable, and you'll be able to take those pictures that you never, ever thought that you would take of yourself for a special person out. Also, Underwatch Protective Services, Mobile Patrol, Foot Patrol, Armed Guards, Unarmed Guards, Event Security, and Private Security. Please link up with Daryl Smith, CEO, Underwatch Protective Services. And let's get into the first topic of the news booth. In the news booth, a large fire destroyed a Randolph apartment building this weekend. More than 80 residents have been displaced. Now, for those of you who are watching the news and saw some people and have seen some stories all over Facebook and have seen this young girl in the news booth, Jayda, on here, if you guys say, wow, I've been on Sinister One's page and she looks familiar. Yeah, she should look familiar, because every time I do an event for this young lady up here on the left, I messed up again. Up here on the left-hand side, up here on the left-hand side, Jayda is always the first young girl to come up there and do karaoke. So if you guys are like, oh my God, this is the girl that you guys see all the time when I'm hosting events for Amber, and Jayda comes up, she does these, these karaoke, these great songs she does a good job. And you know what? I was like so hurt when I saw this story, because 80 people have been displaced in this fire. They've lost absolutely everything. So I have Amber Smith on with me to talk about a couple of the events that are going on. They have the GoFundMe going on, and I did see a lot of people. And I gotta say some things. I see a lot of people pushing kind of a narrative out here in regards to illegal immigrants and people displaced on the fire. And the thing is that being with the MBTA and transportation and dealing with the Red Cross. That $750 that they give people in disaster funds through the government, that has been set through the House and Congress and the Senate. So people, if you want to change that, you need to get to your counselors and everybody and say, hey, we need to change that amount. That amount needs to go up. If there's an earthquake, $750 is what you get. Hurricanes, $750 is what you get to start out. That has to be raised. It needs to be raised. Right now, I saw some photos that they were temporarily placed at the school for right now. That's usually how it goes. Thank God it wasn't wintertime. Sometimes I know we have provided buses, and we've had to put people on buses till they could get the temporary housing, and it's just crazy. So, Amber, let's just talk about this. I brought you on here for the first 10 minutes so we can get this information out there, because they need everything. They need clothes. Yeah. They need everything.
Yeah. So, a couple different events going on this week. Of course, I got the phone call that my aunt and my godchild were in the fire. Thankfully, they physically weren't there, but their house was completely destroyed, along with, I believe it's 29 other families, from pregnant women to single dads. And, there are actually several grandparents who have custody or guardianship of their grandchildren, and are trying to get by. Thankfully, Amy and Jayda have my family and, her mom and siblings and whatnot. But many of the other families do not have that support that Amy is so grateful to have. So this week, Donahue's Pub is doing a fundraiser for Amy and Jayda to raise funds to help them get back on their feet. On Saturday, the last day that they are doing it at 6 p.m., my entire family will be there in attendance to, thank them and show the support. And I have to say the community has been absolutely amazing, whether it's donations financially, clothes, or, just being a support. Sitting back and looking at everything that people have done for us, I wanted to do something as well for the community. So on Sunday from 12 to 4 at 743 South Franklin Street in Holbrook, I'm doing a clothing drive for all the victims of the fire. However, many of the families, I shouldn't say many, some of the families have been placed in other homes, one-bedroom apartments, which we're very grateful for, but these families have absolutely nothing. I literally just took a shower the other day, a couple hours ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, Amy and Jayda don't have towels to take a shower. They don't have a shower curtain, just like simple things that me and you are so grateful for that they don't have anymore. They don't have plates to, eat off. They don't even have food in their fridge. So on Sunday, I know I put that it's a clothing drive, but it's open to anything. People have blankets, cooking utensils that they don't use anymore. Literally anything. Just please bring it. And it's going to be given to all the families that were affected, not just mine. I have another close family that I'm really close with, Tina Marie. Her husband's aunt, lost everything in the fire as well. And so she's going to come and volunteer. So we're obviously looking for people to help. We're looking for donations, just anything and everything, please.
And, I do have some contacts out there. I know some people who can possibly help out. I know my artist, Viana Marie, who is over at Dollar Tree. Maybe I can see if they can help out with some items and try to get some items before Saturday. Things like toiletries and toothbrushes, because these people lost like toothbrushes, deodorant, and all that.
Yeah.
That simple stuff, so I could see maybe if we could do something there.
I felt so the other day, what was it, last night, Amy was at my house, well, my mom's house, and we're all there, we came together, did a dinner for Amy and Jayda, and it was really nice having all of us together during this time of tragedy. And Amy was like, hey, I got to walk over to Family Dollar. I have to buy underwear. I don't have any. Like, just to, you know what I mean? Just to sit back, and Amy has nothing, because any donation that we've got, that like finance-wise, she's given it to Jayda to make sure Jayda is okay. Which is such a typical mother thing to do, but she also needs as well, which I'm sure, again, we're just one family that this happened to. There's 29 other families that this happened to, and it's just horrible. All ages, there were babies outside, after this fire. It's horrible. There was a few people that lost a couple animals and stuff like that. We're still in the search. If anybody's in Randolph, we're looking for my niece's cat. His name is Snowball, and he's white, brown, and black. I've posted a few things on my personal Facebook, Amber Smith. My Facebook for all these posts are public, so anyone can go on, look at all the information, dates, times for all these different events, or even private message.
I was just about to ask you, because you actually had posted a list of clothing in items and sizes of Amy and Jayda. So if anybody, and I believe Jayda's stuff was 10 to 12, I believe you were looking for sizes for her, preferably sweats, some socks, underwear and things of that sort. I know there's a couple of 99-cent stores on the south side of Brockton. There's a couple of places maybe can reach out, and sometimes it's just getting the clothes, people. Sometimes it's not about the money. Sometimes the clothing and the toiletries and the toothbrushes and stuff means a lot more, people. So if you can, Sunday is this event to drop the stuff off. Where's it going to be again?
Sorry, Keith, the kids woke up. It is going to be 743 South Franklin Street in Holbrook on Sunday between 12 and 4. But of course, if people can't make that time, feel free to message me on Facebook. I will, arrange something, whether I can meet you guys or you guys come beforehand. We just want to help everybody else,
Right. It's crazy stuff. And real quick, before I let you get out of here and get back to the kids, has there been any word as to how this fire may have started? I know she had originally posted that she thought it might have been a candle, but it was so fast moving. When I saw how this fire was,
it was ridiculous. Electrical, I believe, due to faulty electrical work. Don't quote me on that, but it was actually, his name is Joey, and he's actually my aunt's friend. He's a really sweet guy. He is actually deaf, and his other senses are much stronger. And his dog actually alerted him as well, and he's the one who realized that the fire was happening and alerted everybody else as well.
Wow, that's crazy. Well, I mean, the fire department's the fire department's going to do their due diligence. They have to find the hot spot, and the only reason why I know it's the hot spot because Backdraft is one of my most favorite movies. So,
well, the building, I don't know if you know this, the building was so unsafe after the fire because it was so quick. The building is actually already down. It was down the very next day.
Yeah, usually they come right in if the building's deemed unsafe. Yep. So that's tough. So they may not be able to find that hot spot of what happened, but they still can. They'll go through the rubble. They'll
did not do justice. Like I was seeing the pictures and I was like, oh my gosh! And I physically got there to look for my aunt's cat, and pictures did not do justice for how badly the damage was. How you could see how quickly like the the decks were like collapsing, the roof had collapsed. It just very crazy.
The structure was and you know what the thing is like you said, if it is deemed that it's an electrical fire, which it seems like to me because it was fast moving, and when you have those electrical fires inside the wall, lots of times you don't even know that the fire is happening until it's too late when it's inside the walls like that, electrical.
Exactly.
And the whole building is a total loss. So I pray it wasn't due to someone not pulling the permit or something to that effect, because that's crazy. That's going to be a huge lawsuit, and my prayers go out to everybody involved. Like I said, 80 people have been dispersed by this fire, and if you guys can help out again, at Dawn Hughes, it's going to be a 50-50 raffle with the money going to the families, and then 743 South Franklin Street, 12 to 4 on Sunday. Clothing drive, but it doesn't just have to be clothing. Anything will help out. Go to Amber Smith's page, because she has the sizes that she's looking for Jayda and Amy. And you know what? My prayers go out, and Jayda is one of my most favorite young kids when I DJ and do karaoke.
Oh, I know she is.
Consistent. So let her know she's in my thoughts, and I'll try to swing by there on Saturday.
Thanks, Keith.
All right, so I'm going to get ready to take a quick break. I'm going to let her go so she can get back to the kids. We'll be back with more Booth after this. All right, it's your boy back here, Citizen One, broadcasting live from the City of Champions. Man, that's tough. That's a tough story. And as I said, again, it's going to be Sunday, 743 South Franklin Street, 12 to 4. Please, please, please dig deep, reach in your pockets. Clothing. And toiletries, please, please, please. Again, visit Amber Smith's Facebook page. And she has the sizes, specifically for Amy and Jayda. But as they said, they're taking anything and everything for everybody involved. As I said, 80 people have been displaced by this fire in Randolph. 80 people lost everything. And thankfully, there was no loss of life. Thankfully. Also, before I get into the next topic here in the news booth, if you're looking at if you're looking at the right side, I gotta get my skills on with this. Shriners Hospital for Children, proud supporter. The ride is coming up July 27th. Shriners for Children, the hospital ride, Slingshots for Shriners. Just scan that QR code, make a little donation. But this ride's going to be July 27th. And we are going to be taking off from Brockton Westgate Mall. It's going to be a sight. And then we're going to meet up with the second group in Boston at South Bay. And then we're going to take this rolling fundraiser ride around the city of Boston and the seaport area of Boston. And then we're going to be driving right by the kids of Shriners Hospital. These kids, our mission is smiles on the faces for day. Smiles on their faces for the day. That's what we're about to do. What's up, Maddie C? Maddie C Sports is in here. Got that 10K. Maddie C's been training for this upcoming 10K. Drop the links in the chat, Maddie. Drop them in the chat. Tim Maurice, what's going on? Aaron Smith, Kathleen Nelson, what's going on? Amber's now in the chat. Drop your info in the chat, Amber, if you can. Christine Marie Painter is watching. What's up, Andrew Fernandez? Billy Atwood, what's going on? Stephanie, what's up? Vianna Marie. Christopher Gagney said he was watching, but he had to get out of here. And again, please, please, please help the cause. 80 families displaced. Please help the cause. Also, let's get more into the news booth. Details have been unveiled on the Cape Cod replacement project of the bridges. This is going to be a big project. It will not be completed till 2032, 2035, but the DOT, MassDOT, has unveiled its artist rendering of the new bridge project, and we've got an exclusive little piece here from Cape. I think it's Cape Cod Radio or Cape and Radio, CAI Radio, and it's actually the Cape Cod affiliate of NPR, if that's how I should be saying it. And Jennette Barnes is the person who did the story. Here we go, right here for you.
Is giving an update on the project, including information on funding, environmental review, and what's coming up next. The meeting will be held over Zoom beginning at 6 p.m. Public comment is welcome. An in-person open house has been set for May 13th at the Veterans Memorial Community Center in Bourne. The open house will cover the same material, but without a formal presentation. Over the last year, the $4.5 billion project has received partial federal and state funding. If the state wins another grant this spring, dedicated funds so far would total roughly $2 billion. For CAI, I'm Jennette Barnes.
CAI, Cape and Islands Radio. NPR. Cape and Islands Radio, NPR. That's what that stands for. Gonna be a big event. Big event, man. The Rotaries they're already starting to work on the Rotaries down there. They want to make sure that they get the Rotaries in order at the ends of both bridges, because it's gonna be a big deal. When this happens, this is going to be a big deal when they start replacing these bridges. Dave Haggerty, what's going on in the chat? Maddie C just dropped that. Maddie C is looking for sponsors and help. As I said, he's running this 10K, and he's been training. That's why Maddie C Sports hasn't been on Sundays. But Maddie C is definitely looking for your support, so you can click that link there. Also, in the news booth, this picture here is something that I think I might want to get on for the city of Brockton. In Attleboro, Chartley's Country Store, which we had a Chartley Country Store. They were here in Brockton, and now it's a different place now. But Andrew Fernandez is asking, is the MassDOT building? Well, right now the Army Corps of Engineers came down. They're putting together the plans, and then yes, the MassDOT will be once they get everything put into place. The bids will go out. And the MassDOT will find who's going to handle this project and get this going. Felicia says, hey, what's up? Sit down, man. I don't know if I got to sit down in me tonight on the show tonight. Oh, yes, I do. I might. If your daughter's watching, I might have a sit down. I might have some other stuff too. But the Rainbow Bridge, I would love to get together with some people and bring this idea to Brockton. Every town should have this. What they did was Chartley's donated some money, I believe, is how this story went. In Attleboro, in the park, they built this Rainbow Bridge. And the Rainbow Bridge, as you know, if you own a dog or a pet, the Rainbow Bridge is what your pet crosses before moving on. I find this to be comforting as hell, because I go back to two animals in my lifetime. Trouble, which was very recently. Trouble was our Siamese cat, who we had for close to 19 years, which should have never have lived that long. It was an outdoor cat and tough as hell. We had to put Trouble down. Zold, and one thing I gotta say, J&M Vet Clinic, they don't pull any punches. You can go to a lot of vets, and a lot of vets they'll rape your pockets. They know you love your animal. They know that you'll do anything for your fur baby. They know to tug at your heartstrings, and a lot of these vets are here to take your money. And both times that I brought animals to J&M, they kept it real. When I brought JJ to them and had him checked out, he had gotten to the point where he couldn't stand up anymore. He was peeing on himself. He crapped on himself. He had no strength in his back legs. He was a husky. He was a rescue. We rescued him at 9 years old, and we had him till he was about 15. When I took him finally to the vet, the lady said, it's always about the comfort of life. And if they don't have the comfort of life, it's not worth it. And she told me straight out, she's like, I could sit here and tell you I'm going to run all types of blood work and keep them overnight, charge you this whole fee and charge of all these tests. And she was straight up, it's not worth it. Like, I'm not going to put him through that. And she's like, I'm not going to put you through that. And she told me right then and there, she's like, you have to put him down. It's not worth it. And they were straightforward. And they said the same thing to me about Trouble. Trouble had gotten to the point where his bones were brittle, and he was having intestinal issues. So they were straightforward. I would tell you right now, if I had a Rainbow Bridge here in Brockton, I would have took JJ in Trouble for one last walk or one last carry across the Rainbow Bridge before I took them to the vet. And I'm about to get choked up here. So if you see me start dropping some tears here, leave me alone. Don't give me any crap. Don't give me any crap. No, I'm just saying, I would have definitely taken JJ for one last walk. And I know there's people out there who say that's crazy. It's just a dog. It's just an animal. But you don't understand. For some people, you build this relationship with your pet, and they become family. And I'll tell you right now, Attleboro saw an influx of people from all over to take their pet across this bridge before they were to be put down. I can tell you right now, if we did this here in the city of Brockton, I can tell you right now, it'd be a huge hit. My idea, though, not to build a bridge. Why? Because there's a ton of bridges already here in Brockton that could be utilized to make them a rainbow bridge. And one of the bridges that I have in mind right now is in Snow Park. Right there in the park next to East Side Pool, the Cosgrove Pool. That stone bridge over that river there, behind the pool. Let's find somebody, let's get up the money. Let's paint that a rainbow bridge, and that would be the rainbow bridge, and that park would be where people would go, and you'd walk your pet across that bridge in Snow Park before you're sending them off. There's a lot of vets, and it's a lot of vets here in the Brockton area, and J&M is not too far, so it's definitely something that a lot of people would take advantage of. So I'm definitely going to look into seeing about this, and kudos to Attleboro and Chartley's Country Store for putting this rainbow bridge out there. Something that's good news. It's great news. And like good news. Good news is like hearing that the guy who won the $1 billion lottery, he was a Laos immigrant who came here when he was young, and he's suffering from cancer, and he's now able to take care of some of the medical bills, and he's able to have his family, once he's gone, his family be supported. What a great story. What a great story, finally, with the lottery. Also in the news booth, you actually heard it here first 5 years ago. Tractor trailers, Channel 5 is reporting, tractor trailers with no one aboard? The future is near for self-driving trucks on the road. Hey, Channel 5. Channel 5, you know what? Here you go. Here you go.
Sit down.
Channel 5, sit down. Sit down. We had the story 5 years ago. We talked about this. Coors was one of the first companies to start putting automated trucks on the streets. 500 miles these trucks were doing. There's a guy in the truck. There's a driver in the truck, but the driver doesn't really drive. The driver just maneuvers the truck once it gets to the depot. But they've already got trucks already out west, already driving routes. They've already got trucks in Texas, already driving routes that are driverless. And here's the thing, people. It's all about profit. And I talked about this on the show. I said the Teamsters are dropping the ball. The Teamsters should be all over this. The Teamsters should be all over these automated trucks. And they're not. And by the time it hits them, guess what's going to happen? I tell people this all the time. Automation is the biggest threat to the American worker. You can take this narrative about undocumented immigrants taking your job and all that stuff. You can believe that Jedi mind trick all you want. You can go on Facebook and say all that. The undocumented immigrants are not the biggest threat to your job at all. Because the job that the undocumented immigrants are taking, you don't want. None of y'all want to be working in a hotel cleaning sheets on February 15th. So stop it. Okay? Automated is what's really the threat to human jobs. Truckers, right here. You automate the trucking industry by even 50%. Guess what you've done? You have now taken the power away from one of the biggest lobbyist groups in Washington at Capitol Hill. You start nipping away at unions. Trust me, right now in the stores, one of the biggest unions out there, along with Teamsters and stuff, was commercial food and union workers. Commercial foods and union workers. That was a big union. But guess what? Because we have self-checkouts, because we have all this automation now in supermarkets and shopping places, you've lost that. You're losing that lobbying base. And this is where the real threat comes in. Tell Bella I said hello. I love having all these young fans. I got all these young fans. Jayda, Bella, what's going on? But yeah, it's a big threat. Automation is a big threat. And, tell people that. A lot of people don't realize that because it's coming. It's coming. And here's the thing about an automated truck. Here's the thing about automated trucks. It's a huge profit right now. They've already got automated trucks for Coors. They've already got automated trucks. I forget what other company that has automated trucks already, semi-tractor trailers. But here's the thing. An automated truck already has maximized profit by 90%. Do you know why an automated truck has maximized profits by 90%? Because guess what? An automated truck doesn't bang out sick. An automated truck doesn't get injured unloading and offloading. An automated truck doesn't have to fall under DOT standards and stop after driving 8 to 11 hours and pull over and sleep in the cab. An automated truck doesn't have to stop and take a shower and wait at a rest area for 2 or 3 hours before they can get a shower. The truck just stays on the road, gets to its destination, unloads, they unload, and then it goes back to the next destination, picks up. You see what I'm saying? Profit, profit, profit. An automated truck can stay on the road 24/7. 24/7. There's no truck driver banging in. It's crazy. So again, automation is the biggest threat to society. And when they start taking away those trucker jobs, the Teamsters Union will no longer be a lobbying threat in Washington, D.C. And that's happening with all these automated jobs. Police forces you can't even get guys hired to work the police force. And some police forces are already got these robots that you see in the mall at the Prudential Center. There are towns and cities already utilizing those robots to go through the towns at night. Look it up. I was looking at buying stock in some of these robots, but they're out there and it's coming. Y'all thought RoboCop was a joke. It's coming. Coming. Let's get into, let's see. I think that was the last topic. She says that, Andrea says that's if the company doesn't, that they won't have to. They won't have to nickel and dime on the maintenance. You know why? Because you won't have an employee to pay benefits, workman's comp, insurance. If you don't have that employee on the payroll, all that money, HR department, all that money, you won't have to skip on maintenance. Maintenance will become easy. Why? Because it's automated. And it's going to be mandatory to make sure you have your software updates, make sure your maintenance is on point. So they're not going to skip on maintenance at all. And they'll have the money to do it. They're going to have the money to do it because they're going to save a ton of money by not having all the headaches that come with hiring employees. Trust and believe me. That's how it's scary. It's scary when you look at this. Let's get into the legal booth. The legal booth here. Karen Reed murder trial started this week. And man, oh man, oh man, there's a lot of stuff already coming out. They're already accusing one of the investigators who took her phone, supposedly was upset because he went through her phone and didn't find any new photos. This came up in the test. This is some crazy stuff. Then they're talking about the injuries. One of the firefighters came up. And it's going to get real interesting because Canton and Stoughton police right now, Canton and Stoughton police are looking real bad. Real bad. And Karen Reed, Christine Painter says that woman is innocent. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people on my timeline who were friends with Karen Reed. And a lot of them are saying She's innocent. She's been railroaded. Turtle Boy, who went to jail over some stuff, Turtle Boy has been saying it's a cover-up. He's been saying it. It's a cover-up. And I know somebody who's working this case, and I'm not sure if that person can come on and talk. I mean, I could say it. Mark Schapetta, Private Eye, who's been on the show. I did a show with him called On the Mark. He's actually was working on this case. So maybe once this is over, I can get him on, because I want to ask him who he thinks is going to play him in the Netflix movie. Because look, yo, this is gonna be a Netflix movie. Karen Reed is going. This is gonna be a whole Netflix, and they're gonna double whack you. Netflix is look. This is how double whack you they're gonna do you. Netflix is gonna put a movie out that's like a documentary with footage, with actual footage from everybody, footage from the trial, footage from all the stuff. They're gonna put that all together, and they're gonna put that all out there, and you're gonna watch it. Then they're gonna put the movie out, and they're gonna have everybody watch it. Netflix ain't stupid. Netflix ain't stupid. Also, man, oh man, oh man, oh man. I told you. I told you all. This was coming. This was coming. Britney Spears in the legal booth here. Britney Spears this week quietly settled with her father, Jamie Spears. Guess what, people? She settled. She didn't want to risk going to a trial with a jury. Why? Because the last 2 years your psycho butt has been on social media, you've proven the reason why you should be under conservatorship. Why your dad was in control of your finances. Why your dad was in control of your life. And guess what, people? She settled. And not only did she settle, she gets no money because she's in the wrong. So all you hashtag free Britney fans out there, sit down. Sit down. I'm just saying it because she painted this picture, and I saw the whole Netflix special with her. And it was very eye-opening. She self-sabotaged some stuff. She was supposed to come back and perform, and she self-sabotaged. She was supposed to try to get out of it. You got to watch the Netflix. There was a lot there. There was a lot there about Britney Spears. And she has to pay his attorney fees. And if Ken and these guys were on here, Ken would tell you, she's paying his fees. She lost. She lost big. So she's going to pay his attorney fees. Now, when I posted this story on Facebook, I told people, it's only a matter of time. It's coming. And it was. It wasn't even 24 hours until Britney Spears went on this crazy rant about her parents and how she's never going to get justice. You're never going to get justice because you settled. You didn't want to go to trial. You didn't want to go to a jury. You settled. So what do you mean you're never going to get justice? You knew. Your lawyer knew. That's why your lawyer took too long to file what he needed to file, because he knew he had no case. You got all these free Britney fans all up in arms and free Britney and this. And guess what? Britney has proven in the last 2 years why she needed to be under conservatorship. She proved it. So she went on this crazy tirade, this crazy rant. And then all of a sudden she shut her social media down. Shut her social media down. So then they didn't use her. Emma says they used her meal ticket. They didn't. That was what this whole trial was about. They didn't use her as a meal ticket. They proved that her dad did what he was supposed to do with her money. Her dad was living in a trailer park in Georgia. The conservatorship states by law, that her father could use her money for any legal stuff involving her. It also said that he was able to use her money for anything that concerned her. While she was under conservatorship, she was in the top 5 of branding for selling merchandise. When she came out of conservatorship, she dropped down below 20. You know why? Because her dad and nobody was overseeing that money. She went out and she bought an island that she should have never bought. She got married to a guy that she barely knew. And they went off and they bought some house that they should have never bought. And then she didn't like it. She was having anxiety attacks and they had to flip it. And then they lost $15 million on the sale that her father would have never. So everybody out here who's saying that the father never stole any money from her. Never. It was never proven that he took any money. And that's why she just settled. That's what this whole story is about that I'm covering. This is why she settled. She wasn't a meal ticket. She had all that money. That money was in her account. She doesn't even have access to her kids. Why does she not have access to her kids? She doesn't have access to her kids because she's crazy. She's a danger to herself. So now we have this psychiatrist that's out there, Dr. Charles Sophy. He's the big Hollywood psychiatrist. After she went on this whole tirade on Instagram and then shut everything down, he come right out and says, hey, she needs to go back under full conservatorship. She needs to get back on the meds that right now she doesn't have to take. She doesn't have to take. You know? And this is where it's at. Ron Drago says making mistakes with your money, it is. But unfortunately it is because she's still under conservatorship. She's still under conservatorship. She's under a partial conservatorship. So mistakes with money do come into play. They do come into play. This is what the whole Netflix special was about. This is what people don't realize. When you're under conservatorship, all of this stuff comes into play. Everything is documented. How you spend your money, how you don't spend your money. That's what happened. And this is what happens. She's crazy. She's crazy. Emma James says it does not make her crazy because she makes dancing videos. It is her money. Who cares if she pisses every penny away? I don't believe it, and it has nothing to do with me. But it is, unfortunately. It is. Watch the Netflix special, and you'll see. She's pissed her money away, and it's not supposed to be that way. Her lawyer, who handled her case, swindled her out of money. So he may be looking at charges and issues with what's going on. So that's a whole nother issue right there, because he dropped the ball. But again, this psychiatrist here says that Netflix isn't a good source. You have to watch the special, Ron. You have to watch the special. They interviewed people who were directly attached to Britney Spears, such as the Rolling Stone author who was to interview her. You have to watch the special. You just can't say Netflix isn't a good source. You have to watch it. And Netflix is a good source because Netflix did their special on a certain tight end here in Boston who I knew was gay before anybody knew was gay in Massachusetts, because of some things that I knew through some people that I knew. And I was telling people behind the scenes, he's gay. He's gay. And when it all came out, everybody's like, holy shit, how'd you know? I'm like, I'm just letting you know. There are some things there that people knew, and he was gay. And the sad thing is that he was only comfortable when he was in jail. No, it's not a one-sided story. It wasn't a one-sided story, Ron. It was a two-sided story on Netflix. You have to watch the special. It is the most eye-opening special about Britney Spears, about her habits, about her coming up, why her dad did things coming up. Yeah, I read her book. The book. Oh, wait a minute. She said, did you read her book and read her side? No, because she put that all out there. And when you read the book, a lot of it doesn't line up with what was told through the Netflix special, through the lawyer who talks about that stuff. So, and I also think she had a ghostwriter for that book. That book was a money grab. The book if you're talking about the book she just wrote, that book is a money grab. That book was just a straight money grab because she was coming off of losing all the money from the flipping of the house, and she was also coming off losing the money because she was supposed to get some type of concert deal, but they couldn't get her insured. Why is nobody insuring her to perform? Because she is a risk. She is a risk. Netflix documentary is a money grab. It wasn't a money grab. It wasn't a money grab. It was a straight expose. You have to watch it. If you haven't watched it, You can't really comment on it. You have to watch the Netflix special about Britney Spears. It's very, 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 very eye-opening. Very eye-opening. And everything that they've said in that special has come true. Everything has come true. But the book was written by somebody else. That book wasn't written by her. If you think that book was written by her, no way. Not with the mental capacity that she's in right now. So, but again, she's going to need new conservatorship. That's what he says. And a new, definitely got to go back under care. So we'll see. We'll see. My worst fear for her is possible suicide or something of that fact. She does have people watching over, but as we've seen before, she, let's see. They're not really good in control of her. And we're going to see what happens here, because I myself, in my opinion, I would not be surprised. And it's up to her dad. It's up to her dad. I would not be surprised in a year or two, she's back into full conservatorship and her dad's in charge. And that's within a year or two. I would not be surprised. You have to watch the Netflix special in regards to her relationship with her dad, and how things went down during her career. There's a lot of stuff there. There's stuff there about her kids. TMZ also did another great special about her. The Netflix special, let me look that up real quick here before I get into the next topic. The Netflix special. Britney Spears. And then TMZ also did one. Britney versus Spears. Britney versus Spears is the documentary that they did. They interviewed an editor, a writer from the Rolling Stone. This Rolling Stone editor was someone who was friends with Britney. She was talking with Britney while she was in this conservatorship, and Britney was telling her she wants out, she wants to get out, and this girl had set it up so they could get her out of the conservatorship. And then Britney turned around and self-sabotaged this whole thing. And she did this in court. Britney went to court, and she did these things in court to where she wasn't allowed to do certain things. She did this stuff on purpose because mentally her mind is messed up. Messed up. So you got to watch it. You have to watch it and see how this went down. It was a great interview, and everything they did, they nailed it. They nailed it. TMZ, Ron Drago says, what did he say? Yeah, his comments are coming up way too quick. TMZ's not the worst source of information on the planet. I disagree right there, Ron. TMZ was the ones who got Michael Jackson's death right. They were the only ones who had Michael Jackson's death right, and that's what put TMZ on the top of the food chain with media. And the reason why I have a love-hate relationship with TMZ is because TMZ has people on the payroll that they shouldn't have on the payroll. They have people like medical people in the field when people die. They have those type of, they have cops on the payroll. They have all these people on the, Arthur Lewin, who runs TMZ, the lawyer guy, he knows what he's doing. When they blew this whole thing up years ago, when what's his name got pulled over for drunk driving, that's kind of how they really got their start, was TMZ, which was named after 3 Mile Zone, which is an area in California. That 3 Mile Zone was when Lethal Weapon, he got busted and pulled over, and he ended up becoming a major story when he got pulled over for this drunk driving incident, and TMZ blew that up. And then TMZ came out with the Michael Jackson death, and everybody said, oh, it's TMZ, da, 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 da. And guess what? They had nailed it. They were the only ones who had it right. So TMZ has people on the payroll. Yes, Mel Gibson. It was Mel Gibson. TMZ has a ton of people on the payroll that I feel is unethical. And that's why they get the scoop. That's why they get the stories that they get. Again, if you haven't watched the Netflix special, you have to watch it before you can say it's garbage. You have to watch it. You just can't say Netflix is garbage. You have to watch the special. And when you watch the special, you're going to see it. It's reported written by a ghostwriter, but there's no proof. It's a memoir. Father was abusive drunk. Yeah, like I said, I think a ghostwriter wrote that book. I think the book was a whole was a whole money grab, and she did. She made money back on it. She made a ton of money on it. So, in the legal booth, 749. Got to get into this one. Ron Drago's actually in the chat. DJI drones are about to be banned in the U.S., and here's what everybody needs to know. And this is the bullshit that goes on here in America that kind of pisses me off sometimes. DJI drones have been the number one drone in this country for consumers for many, 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 many years. Many, many years. And what has happened is that drones are popular. Drones are a big deal. And there are no American markets with drones to threaten DJI's throne here in the country. There's no American-made drone that can take that away. So now we do this thing where we want to try to say to the House and the Senate and Congress, well, DJI drones come out of China. It's a threat. It's a security risk. It's a security threat, which is what they're doing with TikTok, which it is. TikTok is a threat to security. But now they're saying DJI is also a threat. They're taking information, blah, blah, blah. So what they want to do is they want to ban DJI drones. The hypocrisy of that is that pretty much every American drone that's being made here in America right now, guess what parts are inside a lot of these American drones? DJI parts. So when you deem something as a security threat to try to boost the American market to be able to be competitive with it is wrong. That's my opinion, because I think that's what this is all about. This isn't about DJI being a security threat. I think this is about American companies didn't see that they were going to make money in drones, and they waited too long, and now the drones are making a ton of money in this country. Now they want to get into this market and establish themselves, and this is a nice way for an American drone company to kind of get established, to kind of get ahead of itself, to kind of gain ground on DJI, who has pretty much runs this whole thing. And they had the bill this week. The bill went up, and they looked it over, and still everybody was asking questions, well, where's the threat? What is the threat? Nobody can really say where the threat was. It's all pretty much assumption. It's pretty much all accusation. It's all pretty much riding the coattails of what everybody's talking about TikTok. But here's the thing. Pay attention, people, because this is scary stuff of how they can work this crap. For instance, video games. Microsoft makes the Xbox system. Sony PlayStation is in Japan. Now you come up with this narrative that Japan's just, utilizing their products as a security threat. Guess what? We don't want Sony PlayStations here because it's a security threat. And let's boost the sales of the Xbox. This is the craziness that kind of goes on and pisses me off. That's the scary stuff that goes on. DJI drones have been superior because America dragged their heels. American companies dragged their heels and didn't think that drones would take off in this country for consumers. They didn't think about the fact that there are a ton of photographers out there, photographers who've opened up a whole new level of photography, video makers, movie makers. A whole industry of movie makers now have utilized drones. You no longer have to rent helicopters for a flyover shot. You know what I'm saying? The drones have changed an entire industry. DJI has been great at doing what they've done. And here's the problem. The military loves DJI, but they don't want DJI because it's not an American-made drone. The military, if they were to buy stuff from another country, DJI would be the U.S. government's choice of drones for our military, but they don't. So they need to have an American drone for the military to purchase. And again, DJI is the leader, but as I said, the hypocrisy in that is that DJI, all of their parts are in a lot of these American-made drones. So this is going to get real interesting. I don't think DJI is going to get banned. I don't think they're going to find enough evidence to get banned. I don't think so. I don't think DJI. I think DJI is going to stick around. I think they're going to. I think this bill is going to fail. It's never going to happen. DJI was responsible for a ton of stuff. You know, if you watch the Ukraine videos, if you watch some of these things that you see, I'm actually going to get together with Travis on Oscar Mike Radio. We're going to get together and we're going to put together a whole show about automation and drones and how it's changed everything. Because it's a big deal. It is a huge deal. Huge deal. So again, do I think that they're going to end up banned? I'll be real surprised. I don't think so. I don't think they have any concrete, solid evidence that it's a threat or it's a risk. So we'll see, but keep your eyes on it. That's the next one that's coming up. Let's get into the entertainment booth. The only story I have in the entertainment booth, X-Men 97 is heading into a 3-part finale. Man, 2 episodes ago, X-Men 97 had me with tears in my eyes. That's no lie. That's real talk, people. Sinister One had a tear in his eye. Not just me. There's a lot of dudes who watched X-Men 97, that last episode. Remember me? Remember it? Man, oh man, oh man. So here's the trailer, the exclusive trailer for the upcoming 3-part series. Oh, it's the finale for X-Men 97. Huge hit on Disney Plus. It's been a huge hit. Here we go.
You were my first students. My family. I wanted you to be free. Help build a world where mutants could live however they wish, safe and without fear. My X-Men.
We have to be strong. For the team. For every mutant still out there, they need hope.
Let us do what we do. Believe in each other.
Charles Xavier entrusted me with his dream. Everything he built. Everything he fought for. Now belongs to me. My X-Men.
Almost forgot.
Oh, am I going to war or a circus?
What'd you expect? Black leather?
And if you saw that little thing in the ending part there with Cable, and he throws him the costume, he says, "What did you expect? Black leather?" That's a jab to the X-Men movies from Fox. So the writing has been awesome on this show. If you guys are watching it, this has been a great show. X-Men 97 has been insane. Andrew Fernandez says, "What's up, Steve Rita? That I believe, I'm sure, like TikTok, there's an American company that's expediting this process." Yeah, and the owner of TikTok, ByteDance, he already said that if this ban goes through, he's just going to shut it down here. Bye-bye. See ya. I have a love-hate relationship with TikTok, so he can shut it down and go elsewhere, as far as I'm concerned. You know, I have a love-hate relationship with TikTok, so it is what it is. But he said that he will not sell. The last thing he'll ever do is sell like the government wants. So let's get into the sports booth. It is 7:58. Defend Causeway. Look, the Bruins dropped the puck. I'm not sure what the score is right now, but the Bruins right now, 3-1. Lead in the series over Toronto Maple Leafs. Let's go Bruins. Defend Causeway. Let's go. And last night, the Celtics, 102-88. They went up 3-1 against the Heat. Now remember what happened last year, people. Last year, we were up 3-1. Came back, to Boston, and it went all downhill all the way to Game 7, and the Celtics were eliminated. This ain't happening again. Whoop that trick. Coming back to Boston, whoop that trick. And I know Porzingis is hurt. I know Porzingis went down last night, but guess what? Pritch, please. Peyton Pritchard from the outside. Derek White lit it up last night. The bench can come through. Emma James says it's 1-1 right now. 1-1. Let's go, Bruins. Let's go, Bruins. Let's go. Defend Causeway. Let's go. Because here's the deal, people. History always finds a crazy, stupid-ass way to repeat itself. And the crazy-ass, stupid way to repeat itself is that if the Bruins advance, guess who they got next? Guess who they possibly got next? Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, who sent the Bruins packing last year. The Heat sent the Celtics packing last year? Nope, not this year, bro. Sorry, Miami. Sit down. No. I don't want to put a spoiler alert up and be brazen like that, because then they will do a three game comeback. So let's just leave it. Let's just leave it at whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. When Miami comes back here, whoop that trick. Don't look. Do just like you did last night. Get out. The Celtics had 34 points in the first quarter. The Heat didn't have 34 points until the second quarter. That's what the Celtics need to do. They need to keep putting up baskets, go to the hole, shoot shots. No mercy. Cobra Kai. No mercy. Defend Causeway. Let's go. Also, the draft. The draft happened May Day, as you see there, ilovebostonsports.com. Kofi Kingston presenting Drake May with his WWE Patriots belt. Here's the thing, people. He ain't won shit yet. Why are we presenting him with a championship belt? Stop putting the wagon before the horse here in sports. It's not just New England. It's everywhere. I watched the draft, and I was kind of disgusted at the draft because there's this whole new thing now with the draft with the girlfriends. I don't know if you guys have noticed this whole marketing tool. People like Britney Mahomes and all these guys now, all these guys got girlfriends who are Instagram, these Instagram models or whatever they are, bringing a ton of followers, bringing all this extra money to the NFL. So now on draft day, it's not even about just the player getting drafted. It's about, okay, who's his girlfriend? Oh, who's he? Right out the gate. They draft Drake. Next day, here's his girlfriend. Her IG is this. Wasting no time. So now this whole thing has become a package deal. Right out the gate of the draft. And I feel bad for some of these guys because these guys are young guys. And let's be honest, this draft class actually should have been out a year before. But this draft class were guys that stayed an extra year because it was COVID. This is the class that came up through COVID. So they didn't have that senior year in high school, so they stayed an extra year in college. So now, you've got this whole thing. And then this new thing now is that the NFL moved the draft to Thursday nights, which I hated from day one, but they're making a ton of money off of it by hosting these draft parties. But the whole problem is that they've got a problem. And the problem is that players are now electing to not show up for the draft. If you guys watch the draft, a lot of players are now staying home for the draft with their families and friends and everybody who has supported them on this journey. Why? Because it's a better aesthetic. It's a better look. It's better for marketing. I'm pretty sure every agent is telling his player, it's not worth going to the draft. It's not worth having them call your name. You walk out by yourself. The commissioner, Roger Goodell, gives you a hat. You put the hat on. And then what did they do this year? They had them go down to the fans of that team, and then they took a selfie with the fans of that team. Guess what? And the agent's going to say, that's not putting extra money in your pocket. That shot of the kid on the couch with his whole entire family around him, his mother crying, all that is more viral and makes more money for the NFL. We saw this. We saw this 2 drafts ago. Dallas Cowboys draft their wide receiver. And while he's getting drafted and the team's calling him, his phone rings and his girlfriend goes to reach for his phone and he snatches up the phone on live TV. Like, girl, you ain't gonna answer my phone. Even on live TV. That was a viral moment. So this being at home for the draft is a huge marketing tool for them. So we're gonna see more and more that the NFL's got a problem hosting these draft parties if they can't get players to show up for the actual draft, and more of them stay home. So we're gonna see. But Drake Maye, first pick selection of the Patriots, quarterback, North Carolina. We'll see. Because everybody here, they bash Mac Jones. And one of the things about Mac Jones I got to say is that they drafted 6 QBs in the first round this year. 6 QBs. You know what that means, people? That means that whole Mac Jones class sucked. Mac Jones is down there backing up Trevor Lawrence. Chicago had the number 1 draft pick. They picked a quarterback. You see what I'm saying? That whole draft class was garbage. Garbage. 6 teams in the first round chose quarterbacks. Let you know that the last couple of draft classes for quarterbacks was horrible. Also, get your tickets Thursday. Tom Brady, Hall of Fame, Patriots Hall of Fame. He's being inducted. Tickets will go on sale Thursday. Why are they selling tickets? Gillette Stadium. Let it be free for all the fans. Why we gotta sell tickets? I'm not happy about it. I'm probably gonna look up the price and probably definitely gonna go. See, my thing is, I don't think I really want to go see Tom Brady put into. I followed this whole man's career. I don't think I want to go to Foxborough Patriots Hall of Fame. I think when he goes into Canton, I think that's a road trip. I don't care who, Ron, all y'all. When Tom Brady goes into Canton, now that's a whole different discussion, people. That's a whole different topic right there. Because I think I'm gonna let you all know. I don't know, Ron, if you're still in the chat, but let me know if you're joining me. When he gets into Canton, I'm rolling. I'm going to Canton, Ohio, and I'll be fighting with everybody else that goes there. So again, tickets go on sale this Thursday for Patriots Hall of Fame. Tom Brady's being inducted into the Patriots Hall of Fame. Tickets go on sale Thursday. I'm hoping that they're pretty cheap. I know. Yeah. Andrea Fernandez says when he's in that Hall of Fame, you know what the question's going to be? That class of Hall of Famers. If you got to look back at all the players during that Tom Brady era, there's a lot of good players that could be going in the same time as Tom Brady. I believe tight end Tony Gonzalez. I don't think he's been inducted yet. I think Tony Gonzalez could be part of that HOF for that. And let's see, there was a defensive lineman who made things miserable for Tom Brady from Miami. I'm forgetting his name. If you guys can remember, drop in the chat. I believe he might be eligible for that time. That Hall of Fame class, when Tom Brady goes in, it could be very special. It could be very, very special when he goes in. But this one here, I'm gonna look up the tickets. Like I said, I'd be more apt to watching this on TV. Canton, Ohio, book my trip. I might even drive. I might drive the slingshot out there. So, hey, Messi came to town. New England Revolution sold out for the first time, historic. 65,000 people packed Gillette Stadium to watch the New England Revolution lose to Miami. Messi scored 2 goals. He could have had 3 goals. One of the goals he had was from the box area, and it was an opposite foot. It was a left foot goal. Craziness. Andrew Fernandez says Sean Alexander. I don't know. Sean Alexander, running back. I don't know. I got to look it up. I'm going to actually put that list together and see who would be in there. Because I think that's going to be a good Hall of Fame class. I think that really is. Also in the sports booth, Ezekiel Elliott's going back to the Cowboys. 1 year, $3 million. Now, here's the thing, people. When a player goes back to a team for 1 year, usually that's the sign of the swan song. Why? Because teams give you a bonus. If you retire with the team that you spent pretty much your entire career with, you get a bonus in your pension, in your NFL pension. So that's why you see, and it's not just football. That happens in all the pretty much all the sports. Some of it's called a legacy bonus. There's different names for it around different leagues, and that's why a lot of teams will take players back, sign them for 1 day. And I'm pretty sure, to be honest, they're going to do that with Brady. I'm pretty sure Brady's going to come back here. When he gets inducted, they'll sign Brady for 1 day, and then legitimately he will retire a Patriot, and he will get his bonus money towards his retirement for retiring with that team that he spent the most time with. Ezekiel Elliott, as I said, has gone back to the Dallas Cowboys for 1 year, $3 million. That's a sign to me that he's on his downswing. He may be thinking about retirement so he can get that extra bonus money. And let me see, is there anything more else in the sports booth? Yeah, there is. Guardian caps. You guys see these Guardian caps here that they use in the NFL for concussions? These Guardian caps will be now used in games. They haven't said what kind of status or reason that they were going to use them in, but a lot of people are making jokes about them. Here's the thing. They're not going to let these guys on the field with the Guardian caps looking like this. These Guardian caps are going to be painted, I'm pretty sure, the colors of the team's helmet. And then I'm pretty sure the Guardian caps will also have the logo of the team on that Guardian cap also. 2, I also think the Guardian caps are going to be for players who probably have already been diagnosed with a concussion or a head injury. So say like you got a guy who gets his bell rung during the game and he passes the concussion protocol, but they're still kind of leery about putting him back in the game. That player may have to come back in with this Guardian cap. Now, here's the funny thing about it, and here's why I kind of get upset about this Guardian cap. Everything's about impact. But when we did this story many, many years ago, and we touched base on this whole concussion theory and thing that was out there, concussions also don't just go by impact. Concussions come from the brain hitting the skull. So in other words, it's not just the impact. You could have speed, a lot of speed running, fall, and then your brain hits the skull and you can give yourself a concussion. There's so many different ways. So they said, the NFL and the study has said that they've cut concussions down in practice by 50%. I believe they said the number was 50%. So we'll see. But like I said, concussions isn't just from impact. Concussions can come from the fast movement. People have gotten concussions in car crashes without even hitting their head because they get the whiplash so hard and then their brain smacks the skull or the brain smacks the back of the skull, and that can cause a concussion. So this whole Guardian cap thing, and it's not just that. When you look at the quarterback down in Miami, who he was injured, one of the things that came out, one of the stories that came out about him and his concussions was that he didn't know how to fall. Remember, in football, as a kid in Pop Warner, when you got tackled, you were still taught kind of how, when you're going to fall, you were kind of taught to make sure you try to keep your head up. Don't let your head hit the ground and things of that sort. Down in Miami, that's what they were saying is what happened. That was his rookie year. He had a couple of bad concussions, and then his second year, and they were saying it was because he had to be taught how to not let his head hit that ground when he was going down. And that was part of the issue. And it seems kind of crazy that they have to teach that in the NFL. You would think by the time you get to the NFL level, you would know that. You would think they'd know that. So we'll see. I don't think the Guardian caps are going to be like you see here in the picture. I think the Guardian caps are going to be team colors with the logo and blades on it because it's all about marketing. It's all about the marketing. And Been announced today. The fight is now sanctioned as a pro fight. Not a gimmick. It's not an exhibition. This fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson is going to be a sanctioned pro fight. 8 rounds, 14-ounce gloves, knockouts are okay. Now, here's the thing. When this fight was first announced, I was pissed. I was like, damn, Mike Tyson's going to take a dive. Mike Tyson's going to drop and get that money like everybody else. And I thought about it. And I said, man, that's going to piss me off if Mike Tyson drops and takes this money. Then I started thinking about it. And then I started saying to myself, okay, now Netflix is involved. Netflix is going to have, this is going to be Netflix's first live sporting event. And then I thought about it. Where does Jake Paul come from? Jake Paul got famous on Vine for going viral with every little single thing that he did. If you look at this now, if you take away yourself as a Mike Tyson fan and loving Mike Tyson for who he is and what he has done in boxing, you take all that away, strip all that away, and now come in with this, with a business aspect about how to make the most money off of this fight. The most money off of this fight is going to come from a Mike Tyson knockout. Not of Mike Tyson, but of Jake Paul. You want to know why? Because it's a win-win for Jake Paul. Mike Tyson is established. His record is there. And they've already said the records on this fight is going to go against their pro record. If Jake Paul gets knocked out by Mike Tyson in this fight within 8 rounds, guess what's going to happen, people? From a business perspective, it's a win-win. If Jake Paul gets knocked out, it's going viral. It's going to be everywhere. It's going to be on everything. And Mike Tyson's legacy will remain cemented in history. And Jake Paul will make a shitload of money off of getting knocked out. And here's the thing, it won't even taint him, because everybody's gonna say when they bring that up, they're gonna say, well, it's Mike Tyson. Everybody's gonna say it was Mike Tyson. A loss to Mike Tyson isn't gonna hurt Jake Paul's career. It's gonna actually boost his career. He's gonna make money off it. So now, when I look at this from a business aspect, the way I'm thinking right now, I think Tyson's gonna knock this kid out. I think Tyson is going to knock the gloves. The rule is there now. Knockouts are accepted. So in 8 rounds, this kid could get knocked out. And if he gets knocked out, everybody will, those who were laughing and those who were going to be talking shit and those who were going to be saying all types of crap about him getting knocked out by Mike Tyson, they're not going to get the business side of it. They're not going to get that business side. Those who are going to be trolling him, they're not going to get that business side of it. Jake Paul getting knocked out is going to bring a shitload of money to Jake Paul. A shitload of money to Jake Paul. It's going to bring a shitload of money to Mike Tyson. And keep his legacy in check. Keeps it in check. Nobody wants to see Mike Tyson take a dive and get an L on his record against Jake Paul. Nope. And they don't make no money off that. Nobody makes money off that. Jake Paul gets knocked out on Netflix in front of millions and millions of people who are going to be watching this fight, because I'm throwing a party at my house anyway for this fight. But when Jake Paul gets knocked out, viral. And like I said, you can't even talk shit. It's Mike Tyson, bro. It's Tyson. So mark my words, you heard it here in the booth. This is about business. This is about making money. And Jake Paul knows how to make money. I can't stand the Paul brothers, but they know how to make this money with this viral internet stuff. And I'm telling you, if you go in and you think about the business aspect and think about how Jake Paul thinks, he knows it too. He knows it too. Having a fight go the distance and having somebody decide on the winner, that's not going to bring him money. It's not. Him getting knocked out is going to bring money. So mark my words. I think he's getting knocked out. He's getting knocked out. I think he's gonna come out and try to respect him. I think he's gonna try to get funny. I think maybe something will happen. I think maybe around the 5th or 6th round, it's gonna get serious. If he tries to start sowing his oats, I think he gets serious. I think Mike Tyson puts him down. I think 5 or 6. 5 or 6, and Tyson's gonna put him down. And he's gonna make a shitload of money. Both of them make a shitload of money. So I think that's the last topic in the sports booth. Yes, it is. Let's get into the Biden bombshells. There's really only one topic right now in the Biden bombshells. Biden administration plans to reclassify marijuana, easing. Like I said, there's only one more vote left. One more vote at the Hill left to make it legal across the nation. Biden just went in. The Drug and Food Administration and the FTA, not the FTA, I forget who it is, but they have now classified marijuana. It is now a class. It's now a class 3, and it's come down from a class 1. So class 1 would be heroin. Class 3 is Tylenol. Marijuana is now a class 3 if this bill goes through, if this passes. Marijuana will be classified as a 3. And here's my thoughts on this. Medical marijuana has been great. Recreational marijuana has been great. Everybody out there who has what's up, Dave Haggerty? What's going on? Everybody out there who got their little money into a little dispensary or something like that, of that sort, enjoy it. Enjoy it for now. Enjoy it for now. Everybody's driving through their towns and seeing dispensaries on every corner. Enjoy it for now. Enjoy it. Because what's going to happen is, people, when the feds make marijuana legal for recreational use nationwide, you know what's going to happen? Remember all those, you know how you have all those Total Wine in the mall? What's going to happen is that these chains, you're going to see marijuana chains come in. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to buy up all these little guys, like in Brockton here, where we got 4 or 5 or 6. They're going to come in. They're going to buy up the small places. And these guys who put their lives and homes and all this stuff up to get these dispensaries going, the chains are going to come in. And the chains are going to buy all these smaller places up. And you're going to have all of these big chains selling marijuana. If you haven't gone to a legal dispensary yet, go. Look, yo. There's a lot of businesses out there that could take a page from recreational marijuana shops. The presentation, the pricing, the customer service is out of this world. I don't know how many people out here in the chat have gone to a recreational dispensary to buy, but the experience, hands down, is consumer based. And a lot of these places, they say they went out to Denver, they went out to Colorado and learned, where they've been doing it for years. And it is big. It is a big deal. They're going to take it over. Farmers have been dying. Farmers have been needing something to help them bring money in other than just produce. And I'll tell you right now, you let farmers start growing marijuana and link up with some of these established places that are already growing, you can grow at home. You can grow at home right now. You're allowed 10 plants per person, Bill. Here in Massachusetts, you're allowed 10 plants per person. That's a lot. So if you got 4 people in your house, that's 40 plants. That's a lot of weed. That's a lot of weed you can grow. But yeah, if they make it legal federally, you can grow in your home. There'll be a limit set to what you can grow in your home. It's gonna get crazy. It's gonna get super crazy. And hemp factories are next. It's coming. It's all coming. So, man, we went a little bit over tonight. 8:23. I got to thank everybody for being in the chat. Love all the chat. Love all the fire. Love all of the energy in the chat. Emma James, what's going on, Ron? There's so much talk in the chat. I missed some of this stuff. I missed some of the chat. I'm gonna have to go through the chat and link up. But again, hey guys, I had a guest on at the top of the show. Again, that fire in Randolph displaced 80 people, 29 families displaced. Everybody lost everything. 743 South Franklin Street on Sunday, which is Mother's Day. They need people to come by. 743 South Franklin Street in Holbrook, 12 to 4. They need clothing. They need toiletries. They need stuff for all these people displaced by the fire. And then on Saturday night, I will actually be coming back from Connecticut from a slingshot ride on Saturday. But they're asking people to go to Donahue's, where they'll be holding a 50-50 raffle, where the 50-50 proceeds are going to go towards those displaced by this fire. Now, I just want to give people a heads up. The 50-50 raffle. And you see this all the time. And I just want to make a quick joke before we get out of here. I did it. And I got reamed because I did it, but I knew. So I went to an event for someone with cancer. And I won the 50-50 raffle. It's a big pot. It's like $2,000. It's $2,000. I gave my 50% back to the person. And trust, the person I was with, whoo, they gave me hell. They gave me hell. And I said to this person, I said, that's what you're supposed to do. No, you're not. And I'm like, yeah, that's. So for those out there, if you win a 50-50 and you're all happy and you're taking the money to your car or back to your table or something, honestly, 90% of the people in the establishment,
No, you don't up, don't you? No, don't you?
That's what they're saying about you. When you heading back to your table, 90% of the people, that's what they're saying about you. If you take your half of the 50-50, even with, oh my God, even with the kids events, oh my God, the sporting stuff for kids. If you get up there and you win like the Little League Baseball 50-50, and it's like, if it's like $150 and you take your little $75 and go back to your bench or wherever, trust and believe me, 99% of the people are saying this about you. They are. Oh, man. Good stuff, though. Hey, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the show, hanging out with me. Ron Drago, we got to get to F1. Got to get to this F1. And a lot of movie nights coming up at the house. So it's 8:27. Let me get into my outro banners here. Everybody who supported the show, that got beanies back in the day, the beanies are sold out. I want to thank everybody for doing that with me. You know, it was great stuff, great support. I wouldn't be able to do it without you. Sold out. Everybody here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, the shows I produce, Drafting the Circuits, tomorrow night, Oscar Mike Radio, Fubar Studios, Homeland Heroes Podcast, Matty C Sports, and Happy Hour with Lito. All those shows I produce. My odds, Vianna Marie. 400-mile motorcycle challenge was this month in April. Today's the last day in April. We had shitty weather. I was not able to complete my 400 miles. Also, NBA, $3 beers, $4 fried dough at Platinum City Gaming for tomorrow night. Next game for the Celtics. Head on down. Also, NAP, Natural Agricultural Products, Recreational Dispensary. This is their specials for the week. Tomorrow, all edibles will be 20% off. And they have specials every day, so make sure to get down there. Northeast Slingshots, this is where we'll be, Ron Drago. Saturday, May 4th, Connecticut. Music by DJ Sims. We will be Powerhouse Motorsports in Connecticut. Black-owned Brockton. Their event takes place, the Vibe 08, on May 4th, right down here in the East Side Park. Fubar Studios, Be the Difference. Donate to Giveathon, May 14th to May 15th. That's coming up. That's NASCAR Giveathon Day. And then the Wounded Vet Run takes place on May 19th, the 13th year for that one. Kickstands up at 12:30. And then I'll be in Maggie Valley, but May 25th, Vampires versus zombies. Who would you be if you were here in Boston? I hate to say this, I'd be a vampire. I think I'd still be a vampire. May 31st, 2024 is when it ends. Free Bat Buses ends May 31st. I think they're going to extend it. Everybody else who's had this free program, they've extended it. Also, Deaf Purpose Freedom Fundraiser, that takes place June 15th. The gentleman who is putting this on, he is going to be on this show Tuesday to promote that event. Also, June 22nd, the 3K Heal-a-thon, Walk-in Survivors Heals. I am the DJ for that event. That takes place at DW Field Park on the 22nd. More information to come. Ryan's Ride is also taking place on June 22nd. That's the 10th year of Ryan's Ride. Kickstands up at 11 a.m. And then here it is. You've seen the QR code. July 27th. Slingshots for Shriners, Boston 2024. This time it's for the kids. Man, oh man, oh man. We're coming. I can't wait. I'm excited. I am so excited for this ride on the 27th. It is going to be crazy. Hey, I want to thank everybody for tuning in the show. It's 8:30. We got to get ready to get out of here. I want to thank everybody for tuning in the show. We'll be back here next week. Actually, I'll be here May 4th. I'm actually thinking about doing a special because I'm going to miss Tuesday because I'm down in Maggie Valley. I'll probably just be going live and stuff on Tuesday night. But I'm thinking about doing this thing every year. I think I'm going to do a May 4th show every year now. Why? Because I'm such a dumbass, geeky Star Wars nut. I am. I'm such a Star Wars nut. And it would just be so nice to just do an episode on May 4th and just talk Star Wars with people. So if you like Star Wars, if you're a fan of Star Wars, and you just want to come on and just chat up Star Wars with Sinister One, May the 4th, I think I'm going to, if this is a hit, I think I'm going to do it every year. I'm going to do it every year. I'm going to do it every year. So if you can, Saturday, it will be when I come back. It's going to be late, too. When I do this, it'll be late. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Billy Atwood, everybody, Andrew Fernandez, Ron Drago, Dave Haggerty, Emma James, everybody, Amber Smith, Eddie O'Connor, what's going on, Steve Rita, all you all in the chat. The boy Sinister One, get ready to get out of here. SpongeBob, do me a favor. Take us home.
Well, see you next Tuesday.
Thank you for listening to The Booth on Hoobazoo and HatcherRadio.com. Please follow the Facebook page and subscribe to the podcast at Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. The Booth is a Sinister One production hosted by Sinister One.
I've got to start hanging out with friends that are a little more intelligent and understand politics and stuff. It's just that I'm up on this level up here, and all my friends are down here. Me, nah. You guys, nah. Maybe a little more down in here. Screw you guys, I'm going home.
I smoke, I drink, I do my thing. These bitches hating, so you know I got to make it plain. Don't do cocaine with your chick, my main. We stick together, true forever, yeah, you know we bang. I miss those days, which was easy. If only I made it, this don't repeat. Now that I done upgraded, I've been upstate, but y'all think I'm playing. And I got a hit now for these weak assholes who think I ain't slaying. Try me, and I'll probably end up laughing, cause I never back down. I'm that chick with a clean ass whip, I don't need that shit, it's like I'm my own now. I get hurt, I get tired of fussing, fighting, guess I gotta crack down. Don't mess with me, cause on everything, I'ma have to bring the whole city out.
WHOOBAZOO, that's Hoobazoo.com.
Enter website, enter website, enter website, enter website.